I think a lot of people bought some of his campaign promises, and 100 days later you've seen none of them to come true. They've been lied to, they've been taken advantage of, and I think if they come to things like this event today with Senator Sanders, they'll learn about it and come to understand it better, and maybe start standing up a little bit for the other side.
Hey, it's Jordan. I am in Flint, Michigan, East Palestine, Ohio, Tumwa, Iowa. Please support the only independent outlet on the ground covering what the corporate media covers up.
And Randy, I wanted to get a sense of why you're out here, what brought you to support Bernie and his Fight the Oligarchy tour, and what does fighting the oligarchy mean to you?
Sure. Well, we're big fans of Bernie. We've loved his message for really since he came on the national scene, probably in 2016. I know he's been a senator longer, but we've watched the new administration attack democracy and attack higher education and attack Medicaid, and it has to be stopped. And we see Bernie and AOC out front. And when we were kind of looking for what to do this weekend and we saw he was going to be in Bethlehem, we said there's nowhere we'd rather be, and we're here to support Bernie and the message. And I guess I want to throw in a little extra. We have a great friend named Kareem Daoud in Flemington, New Jersey. He's our pickleball pro. He's been here for 24 years. He has a wife and 2 kids. And ICE detained him about 6 weeks ago, maybe 7 weeks ago now. And he's getting a lot of help from Senator Kim and from Senator Booker. They've managed to keep him from being taken to another state. But he's been in detention. So we're trying to raise as much awareness as we can and trying to get the message out that some of these things this administration is doing are terrible, and they're affecting us personally, and we want to make sure people know that it should be changed.
Absolutely. I'm so sorry to hear that this is happening to someone close to you, and I think that this is, a lot of what this tour has been focused on are the many ways in which working people are struggling, and this is just another one of those ways. His immigration policies are affecting working people and those who love them. And I guess I would ask, what does it say about the state of the country in general when you can have people who are loved, who have been here for, as you said, 24 years, just kind of disappeared overnight?
Well, the state of the country is a huge concern of mine. I'm an ex-military member. I've served overseas. I've been around a lot of our national leaders, and I've been proud to be American. And now when you travel overseas, it's a little embarrassing. You really, we're still proud to be Americans, but we're disappointed in what this administration is doing, and abandoning NATO and snuggling up to Putin and fighting the National Institute of Health and shutting him down, and you can go on and on. And we made a list the other day of all the awful things he's done in 100 days, and he's averaging more than one a day. And people, I think a lot of people bought some of his campaign promises, and 100 days later you've seen none of them to come true. They've been lied to, they've been taken advantage of, and I think if they come to things like this event today with Senator Sanders, they'll learn about it and come to understand it better, and maybe start standing up a little bit for the other side, and get us back to being what we used to be proud of, which today is it's difficult.
Absolutely, and I guess I would ask, we've heard a lot from corporate media about why Trump got in office again. I think it's pretty evident to me that Trump got in office again because working people have been hurting materially for a long time. And it seems like year over year, things just get a little bit worse and a little bit worse until now we're here, and we have a lot of people are desperate enough to listen to someone like Trump, to be taken in by the very evident false promises of improving the lives for working people. I guess taking stock of all of that, how do you feel about the Democrats and everything that they're doing? Are they meeting this moment right now? Have they been meeting the moment, over the last however many years where, again, I think it's clear that working people, no matter your party, have been struggling?
Well, I don't know that Democrats knew how to fight the fight properly. Trump's campaign was largely based just on lies and telling people what they wanted to hear and give them enough of it to get them to choose him. But the Democratic Party, again, I'm from New Jersey. You look at Senator Booker, he's really been standing up. His 25-hour speech on the floor of the Senate was amazing. Senator Kim he's a young senator, but he's been doing a good job. But the Democrats, they need to get their act in order. They need to figure out who their leaders are. They need to figure out what their message is and how to get back, enough people to take Congress back in 2026. The House is certainly within reach. The Senate could be. I think it'd be a stretch. But we need to get one of the branches of government back until we can get the other two. And right now, 2026 is our chance. And I think Senator Sanders' message today is going to be, don't sit home and sit out a vote. I know it's an off-cycle election, but get in there we got to get Mike Johnson out of the leadership of the House of Representatives. We got to get people like AOC and there's a host of them, but Lauren Boebert, the names are escaping me a little bit, but we can't leave our government in the hands of those people who have an agenda that's so different than what the American people need.
Absolutely, and this is not a pushback. I'm just genuinely curious to hear your thoughts on this. I guess I would ask, do you think that the Democrats are capable of doing this? Because I think, again, just to underline a point that from talking to a lot of people over the last few years that I've been reporting, I've heard from so many people under Biden, and prior to that, working people have been materially struggling, and the status quo doesn't seem to have been working for working people. It's certainly not working under Trump. Things are accelerating extraordinarily quickly, but we were already in a place that was bad. So I think for a lot of people, returning to the pre-Trump 2.0 still doesn't work. So do you think that the Democrats are capable of taking that message in and really doing something to improve the actual lives of all of us?
Let me give you a contrast. Have you ever sat and listened to Pete Buttigieg and compare that with some of the House Republicans today, or even with Donald Trump himself? And are they capable of delivering the message? Certainly. Pete Buttigieg, Amy Klobuchar, there are a lot of very brilliant Democrats. Bernie, I don't think Bernie will ever run for president again. They're capable. I think the country needs to be ready to listen. If you think back, when Trump inherited Obama's economy, it was fantastic. Quite honestly, in my opinion, he destroyed it. He created the opportunity for Biden. Now, between COVID and between, Biden gave us really the world's most admired economy. When at the end of his tour, we were the envy of the world. And quite honestly, I think Trump in 100 days has proven that he can screw that up and break that. And I think there's a lag between what you do as a president and when it impacts the country. And I think Trump, again, is benefiting from what his Democratic predecessor said or did. And now I'm pretty sure that he's proven he can break it. And will that create an opportunity? Will the country be ready to listen again? I hope so. I love to listen to Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar and Bernie, and the names I mentioned. There's a think tank, and there's Senator Booker and Senator Kim. There are a lot of very capable Democrats. I just hope enough people in the country are willing to listen, and a lot of the people that voted for Trump are willing to evaluate the effectiveness and the consistency with what he said he was going to do and what he actually did. If that happens, I think we're going to be in great shape. And I'm anxious for 2026, quite honestly. I hate that it's a year and a half away, because that gives this administration a year and a half to really do damage. And now I'm very talkative. When you look at the cabinet and you look at Pete Hegseth, I'm an ex-soldier. He could not be the leader of any other military under any administration. And Bobby Kennedy, quite honestly, I don't think he has the medical training of a candy striper, and he's in charge of Health and Human Services. I think it was all a test for Trump to see how much he could get away with this cabinet. And if you watch the cabinet meeting the other day and watch them each pay homage to the great leader, that's not what America's about. That's not what our country is meant to be. And it'll change. The pendulum, I believe, has swung as far as it can, or the rubber band has been pulled back as far as it can. It's going to snap, and things will move in our direction again. I'm very hopeful.
Well, I certainly hope you're right. I would be happy to know that this is as far as we're going in this direction. Thank you so much, Randy. This was great. I appreciate everything you've said. This was great.